Previously on Inspired Initiative, the group spotted suspicious figures emerging from the canals and heading towards the Frostfire Citadel. Moving quickly but discreetly, they discovered the figures appeared to be Khazad-dûm. Until combat revealed, most were mere illusions. Amid the chaos, a few real enemies were located, including one who summoned a living torrent of flame. Despite their efforts, some figures breached a high window of the citadel, though Asja managed to subdue one before the rest vanished. The commotion drew the attention of the Storm Wardens, who arrived to investigate. During this, Calorith, the Windcaller, entered the citadel through a window, and later emerged to claim everything was under control, blaming the incident on the Khazad-dûm. However, the captured thief turned out to be an elf, raising suspicions. Chapter Master Dagon appeared, offering support and telling them to attend the council meeting the following morning. Retreating to the Flamin' Flagon, the group shared their concerns about Calorith with Dagon, who wanted to agree but insisted on the need of proof. After some debate, the adventurers decided on a name: the Motley Hue, befitting their colorful misfit group. Determined to uncover the truth, they set off into the city, first visiting the Zathriel estate, where they found Aeon Zathriel amidst a raucous party. Intrigued by the chance to bring Calorith down, Aeon encouraged them to dig for dirt with Gronk, and promised his support if they found solid evidence. Will the Motley Hue uncover enough proof before the council meeting? Can they clear the Khazad-dûm of blame? And what secrets lie hidden in Elendor's shadows? Find out on tonight's chapter of Inspired Initiative. Tonight we begin as you all depart from the raucous party. You overhear the excitement and festivities that continue and will probably continue throughout most of the night. As your bellies are full of the fine dining of gourmet dishes, you set off into the night to find more of this evidence. Currently you are in the Glassglade district, with all manner of noble estates around you. What are you doing?
So, what is our plan? I know we need to talk to the investigator.
That is the question. There are a couple people that I would like to speak with as well. Might be a long shot, but we might get some leads. I'm worried about getting into to see our investigator friend though.
Yes, it would probably be very good to not bring attention to ourselves. I might have a solution. I have a curse that I currently have decent control over. It allows me to transform. It would be pretty simple for me to get in and at least contact Aeon Or not Euan. Just talk to him. The Gronk.
Detective Gronk. Not inspector. Not investigator. Detective.
Right. Detective Gronk. I don't know if you want me to just pass a message or if we should set up a place to meet him outside. I don't know.
Being able to move unseen, or at least as someone that can't be recognized, is quite a gift in some cases. But if you were to go talk to him, how would you gain that trust? He knows who you are with us, he knows who we are.
Well, any detective would be remiss in not listening to evidence or information, a lead. And if I go seek him out, saying that I might have a lead, I could probably quite easily get a private space to talk to him about what we actually want.
If Asja wouldn't mind giving up one of her hair strands, that could work.
I do not mind. Rupert, grab hold and pull. And she just puts Rupert on her head and has him yoink out a few hairs. That hurts. Ugh.
Kind of does so. Looks at you like concerningly.
If it helps you, there you go. But I would also, like to remind you that you were saying about changing how you look. Well, I don't know. I would think that if my place of work and residence was just invaded by people apparently who were wearing things, magical things that made them look not the same as what they had, maybe they would be putting up protections. So I am just wondering how you are supposed to get past protections.
I have tried to figure out exactly what this curse is, but it is not magic. That I do know.
Well,
If
you think
tried
you
to get
can
rid
get
of it
to
that
them?
way.
Because I do not think we are going to find many storm wardens just wandering around the city at the moment. I just thinking most of them have probably been called back home by their shepherd.
You could try and look like one of the storm wardens that we talked to earlier. Perhaps.
I don't know. I can turn into a specific look very, very easily. I struggle very hard trying anything else. I feel like I can, as if I struggle to control the curse, but
Then try and find an uniform, perhaps.
Would it not be suspicious of a guard not acting like a guard than for someone with a tip just coming in and seeking a detective?
I mean, I don't think it would be suspicious for one of the guards or the storm wardens to be looking for, one of their own. You can just say that you have orders for him or that he has orders for you. Ugh, I don't know what that food had. Anyways,
Maybe it's
we
also
should
the fact
maybe
that we are
start-
probably a little tired. We have already had a big night.
It is true.
She kind of
Perhaps we
shifts
should go
back
back to the Flame and Flagon to drink some storm brew.
Well, I have a feeling it is going to be a long night, so maybe the one that Stormbrew, that's the one that makes you all energetic.
Yes.
That's, I think so, and I think Euan could probably use some Tylenol.
Very much so.
And maybe some burn cream. You're still smoldering
Also,
on top of
maybe.
head.
Kind of licks a finger and puts out the little quill on the top of his head that's still smouldering. Just
Yes, we should definitely get back to the room.
I would
I need to
remind
pick
us
up a
though
change of
that
clothes
when
anyway.
I would remind us though that when we were going back there, that it is probably going to be quite busy with parties all night. So if we want to do any more talking, I would say we go up to our rooms with whatever drinks we have. At least there we will have, number one, a bit more quiet, but I have a feeling that the noise will come through the floor most of the night. And two, not have what happened this morning with the people who are using their ears to listen to conversation, eavesdropping.
Why don't we just talk as we go? We should have a plan when we get there. It's, like 20 minutes?
I still think a rest would do us all good.
Well, let us figure out which way we're going. Are we going by foot? Are we going by boat? What are we doing? Let us do it.
I wouldn't
Rhukkarrak
mind
looks-
walking if we're gonna plan as we do it.
Okay, never mind. So say he looks down the canal to see if there's any ferrymen
Yeah.
at this time. But
As
if
you-
Maldorwen says that, he'll just abandon the plan.
Do look, the canals are still relatively, like the main canals are still kind of closed. And the side canals, there are ferrymen, but most of them have like a full occupancy. Like, it's still kind of bustling getting everybody from the Tideway Arena back to wherever they will stay the night. And it would definitely take a while to wave down a ferryman to get you a ride. Probably longer than it would just be to walk.
Yes, I think walking would be a good idea.
Euan kind of sighs a little bit. All right, then let's get walking. The night's not getting any younger.
Asja will slip in next to Euan and kind of put her arm through his a little, and he'll feel her kind of like give him a little, like, you know, a little bit of support. And so she's gone on his bad side, and she's kind of giving him a little bit of, not noticeable, but so to the passerby, unless they're really looking at it, it's, you know, just somebody and somebody walking arm in arm type deal, good friends or something like that. But if you really look, you know, she is giving a bit of whatever strength she can to help support Euan to walk there.
Okay. As you all do make the trek back to where you just came from, the Flaming Flagon. As you get closer, the more and more rowdy people cheer out. Any conversation? Maldorwen was saying you wanted to have chats. Currently, like, the city is, other than like the canals where people are being taken back, it's starting to die down. It's not super late in the night. It's probably only 7 or 8 p.m. Maybe a little bit later than that, but not incredibly late. But currently, all the people are like gathered around different parties rather than being out and about in the city itself. So you have a little bit of space to yourselves as you walk back.
So a plan. What ideas do you all have?
Well, Rhukkarrak did say that he could try and talk to Gronk. But since you both were the ones who spoke with him first, and you know what he is willing to put on the line and not, I think it is better for you to make that decision. I was also hoping that maybe we were able to, I don't know, go and look around. Perhaps there's something else to be found at the Glass Glade or the Citadel. Maybe something to be seen later on. I don't know.
Maybe we could go back to market as well. That is where we saw the one who told us from the bar in the morning. The girl in the cloak. We first saw her in the market. Maybe we could go in the market and look around as well.
I wouldn't mind having a conversation with this veiled alchemist. I'm a little concerned that the magic user that got away might either be them or could potentially be someone that I know. Either way, I don't like loose ends.
With Euan saying that, does Rhukkarrak get the impression that the person may have been the Veiled Alchemist or someone that he may have met?
Go ahead and roll an insight check, but do it at a disadvantage because you didn't really get up close to that other individual.
Yep.
And they were cloaked and eluded.
That is a natural 1 for a total of 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but the only connection that you can see in your head is they were both elven, at least what Euan was saying, and then feminine. But
Yeah.
you have no idea.
Yep. Then he's just gonna let it drop. But so when I'm the investigator, the detective, did you want to talk to him? Should we
I do not
set
think
a
that he will
meeting
be
point?
able to. I do not. If he thinks he can get out of where he is at the moment without any suspicion, then maybe we should meet with him. But I think I'm not sure. I don't know. Yeah, this place is far too different from where I am from, so I don't know how easily it will be for him to get away from the situation. I don't know.
Well, in case he can get away, what location should be a meeting point? And is there a particular time or?
What about the Tide chapter? Or would that be too obvious?
I think it's good because it gives plausible deniability to him as well.
There are a bunch of other people he could have been going there to see, especially since the chapter master was involved in this incident.
Exactly.
It could work.
All right. What about the chapter house in? You are going to have to get there. You're going to have to find him. You're going to have to convince him. Be prepared, though, that he will probably want to cast spell on you to make sure you are speaking truth and only truth.
Oh, that will not be hard.
No, just
I will
preparing
just say
you
that you and Euan sent me to get him because you did not want to arouse suspicion. True enough.
Again, what reason does he have to trust that you do know? Again, you will be brand new face just walking out of nowhere going, hey, I have information for you on what happened tonight. Another new face.
Yes, I plan to play the part of a random stranger that you all found and paid to give him a message of a meeting point.
Okay. Then, what do you think you need? Maybe 2.5 hours?
It would give a nice window for him to pick a good way to get free.
All right, well, why don't we go back, have a drink, put our feet up for a moment. We all leave at the same time. 2.5 hours from that time, we go back to Chapter House and meet then. Does that give everybody enough time to do things? Yes? No? If somebody does not show back up within the 2.5 hours to, say, 3.5 hours, at that point, I guess we grow worried about the other persons?
Now, at that point, we should assume the worst. Sorry, Rhukkarrak. What were you saying? Didn't mean to cut
I
you
was
off.
going to say, I don't think that if it seems like he cannot make free, I'll just come back and tell you. And if I can't find you, then I'll just meet you at the chapter house.
Is that a good plan for everyone?
That works for me.
Maldorwen?
Yes. Nothing I would love more right now than laying down my crossbow and putting up my feet.
Well, then let's go have one last good foot put up before we get really stressful for the rest of the time. Asja's just gonna go quiet at that point and continue helping Euan towards the flame of Euan.
Yep. You all near it as you hear the rowdy party and are able to push your way through a bit of the crowd and, enter the tavern. And it is very packed. Like, you don't see a free seat. There's actually people outside just standing and drinking and whatnot and celebrating. And there's currently, you do catch eyes with Lennon, who's running around like a chicken with his head cut off, all over to different patrons, sending bars or giving them drinks. He does wave to you guys as you do come in.
Alright. Medicinal tea. I hurt, and I feel like I've been on fire. Oh, wait, I have. I'm going to go get a drink. Thank you for your help, Asja. My apologies. And
You can call me little one. It's okay. I was just a little upset that day. I'm sorry.
Alright.
It's not...
I mean, I just don't want to... I don't want to upset you. I suppose I should have asked first.
It's okay.
But Tylenol, that sounds like a wonderful addition to my night. I'll go order the first round of drinks for everyone. What'll you all have?
Oh, I'll take a storm brew, please.
I will try the one that makes you go, woo! The storm brew, yes. Wait, does it make your head bubbly? Or does it just give you, pep in step?
Yes, more like that.
Okay, yes. If just pep in step, that's what I want. I
That
do
is a
not
good
think
question.
getting more bubbly-headed than I already am would be good.
That actually is a good question, DM. Is the Storm Brew alcoholic or not?
No, it's basically like coffee. But,
Right.
I mean, it doesn't taste like coffee. But, yeah, it's more or less the world's equivalent to that. At least Ellendor's equivalent.
Yeah, people have it for breakfast.
Lunch and dinner.
Right. Euan will hobble off, leaning heavily on his halberd, up to the counter. waiting for Lennon to finish everything that he's doing, and will order some Tylenol for himself, and then a round of Storm Brew for the Motley Hue.
Okay, very nice. It takes a good 5-10 minutes before Lennon comes back and is able to assist you, but he does so with a smile on his face. Gives you some more Tylenol. Says something about like they might need to restock that soon. Some rarer herbs go into that, but they have
subjectively sad at that.
they have enough for a little bit more for you here. Around a Storm Brew as well. As you all drink that, you feel the energetic kind of jolt of electricity kind of shoot through your veins for a brief moment, as it does bring you to higher alertness for a brief period of time.
Oh, that was, I'm probably going to need that, especially since this night is going to be long. I will be in my room changing. I'll see you all shortly. And he'll get up and walk upstairs.
Asja will look at Maldorwen and Euan. I have snacks in my room. Do you want to come upstairs?
Sure. I'll come upstairs.
Lots of different kinds. Come on. Rupert didn't eat them all. Just some of the better ones. And she will take her Storm Brew and head up the stairs.
All right.
Yes. Slowly but surely, Euan will follow.
Maldorwen, are you following?
Yep.
Okay. As you all head up the stairs away from the party, as it's a little dimmed, you can still hear the crowd fare from your rooms. They're decently insulated to the point where it's not like overbearing, and you could still get some shut-eye if you wanted to. But as Rhukkarrak, you enter your room. You notice a figure waiting for you.
He is going to very carefully pull out his dagger and close the door behind him.
I've seen you've been busy.
Yes? What are you doing here?
What is your report? You went and saw them, no? I'm assuming you didn't find what I asked for, though.
No. And I find your assumption that I would find that to be distasteful.
Did you look?
I met with them. I chatted with them.
It is so easy to put on a face. You especially should know this.
Yes, and the elves we encountered just a few hours ago.
Also hang faces, yes.
Quite obviously biased faces. To quite meet the tale that you were spinning. I hope I didn't interrupt any of your plans.
No, just complicate it a little bit. I would like to speak with you and your allies, friends, whatever those other three are to you. There is more going on than you realize. And a careful misstep will not do good for your favor.
I suppose they want to talk to you as well. I assume you want to need to go get them now.
He just kind of looks around the vacant room here, other than the two of you.
Meet me down at the docks. You know
As he turns towards the window that is ajar currently, and looks back to you, just eyes still kind of meeting yours.
I have a bit of a timetable tonight. Is there a particular time you are expecting?
The sooner the better.
And with that, he steps towards the window, and once again, the shadows kind of cling up around him as he vanishes.
Well, there goes the restful little bit, the respite we're going to take. And he is going to go ahead and head over to find the others.
All right, the other three of you enter a room. You have about 5 or so minutes before Rhukkarrak comes banging on the door. Anything you all want to say to each other?
Asja is, as soon as you get in, she'll pull out some snacks and stuff like that. And so, big night, huh?
Too big for my taste.
I really don't like it here. Why did I want to leave again? Could you remind me? Oh no, you can't remind me. You forget. Never mind. She
Forget
sits
what?
down on the windowsill. Why I wanted to leave exactly.
How are the both of you feeling after everything?
Well, to be honest, it's hard to say, but Rhukkarrak has given me very strange vibes.
How so?
Well, I just feel like there is something that he is not telling us. I just feel I've been traveling with Rhukkarrak the most, and I was in Kertas with him. And now that concerns me. I am glad that as an editor I am now able to see more of him and understand what him being there implies. But Rhukkarrak is not who he seems to be, I think.
Euan, with his legendary low charisma, thinks for a moment. I'm sure he has a reason to keep his secrets. I know him the least out of the four of us, but at the very least, he's proven himself a good meat shield. He obviously trying to crack a joke and failing because his brain is too a little foggy from being in pain right now. But
Around this time, you hear a knock at the door.
housekeeping
Moment.
at this hour?
I don't know. She kind of goes to the door, cracks it open a very small amount. Yes?
Before you stands a cloaked figure who kind of looks up towards you, and you can see the familiar face of Gronk, Detective Gronk. I was hoping I'd find you here.
Oh, is you. She opens door. Come in, we have snacks.
Ooh, my favorite. We have words to say. He kind of slides in to the door.
We?
We being me and you guys.
Oh, I see. I was worried you were carrying someone under your cloak or your hat.
No, I just, I'm supposed to be doing something else right now, but had to step away. Well, I had a moment. This is all a lot going on right now.
What have you found out, Gronk?
Not as much as I'd hoped to, but... What were you going to say, Snips?
Asja closes the door quickly but quietly.
Well, yeah, I didn't have a whole lot of time, because I had places I needed to be, and if I was not going to show, I was going to be very suspicious. But right before the races started, I did get a chance to do a little sneaky sneak into Galrath's room there. His quarters. I didn't get a whole lot of time to really look, and there's probably more up there. If someone was able to take more time and care. But I was able to find an interesting note. It spoke of... I don't really understand exactly what it means. It was saying that with the pressing threat of the Castrum spies, if the council doesn't want to act, we will act with or without you. And it was signed with some sort of weird, darkened sun. I've seen this symbol before, too.
What is it?
It's... I can't say it for sure, but I'm assuming some sort of thieves' guild of sorts resides here in Elador. Around this time, another knock comes on the door.
For heaven's sakes, I've never been this
Who is
popular before in my life. I don't know, get against the wall so no one can see you.
Stand behind me.
You still in doghouse, go over there. She walks over to the door, cracks it open a very small amount. Yes, hello?
It's Rhukkarrak.
Yeah, you okay. Come in. Quickly.
Okay. What?
Like, she doesn't
What is-
open the door fully. She kind of guesstimates, like, yep, he should fit through this much. Go, come on, in.
Yeah, he steps in.
And
What
suddenly
is-
there's a party in her room. She closes the door.
It is cramped in here now. This room is not made for 5 people.
You know, my grandmother
4
told
and a
me
half
about being
starfish.
situations like
Right.
this.
What was your grandmother's wisdom for this?
Oh, not to get in room with this many men, but that's okay. She moves over to the window and goes and sits back down on the window. Especially not bedroom.
Your grandmother gives you a lot of really good advice.
I wish she was still around to give me really good advice today, because I could use it.
Well, I see that we don't need to find the detective.
No. He found us.
I'm right here.
So what? Have you talked yet?
We were. You all visited the Castrum, right? Did you see signs of them being spies?
I shook Durim. I mean, what else can they be doing here?
Ask Rhukkarrak, he was the only one that went to camp.
I cannot discount any spying. I mean, any merchant could be telling anyone anything outside of the town, but they did not look like anything more than what they said they were. They looked like merchants.
How well of a look did you get?
I mean, I walked into their camp. I traded with their people. There was quite a bit of time. I mean, I didn't get a chance to look into their tents and things. But
it's just all so confusing.
There
Castrum
was-
there, that elves pretending to be Castrum here.
what? Who do you know who is saying that they are spies or something?
There was a note up in Gallereth's quarters. Had a symbol of a darkened sun on it. And Rhukkarrak,
Darkened
you are
sun.
familiar with that verbiage.
Yep. Oh, he's definitely 100% familiar with that. And what did the note say?
Oh, I didn't grab it just because I don't want to cause more suspicion, but something about the pressing threat of the Khazdurim spies. They'll act if the council doesn't want to. Something along those lines.
I hate to say this, but we don't know much about your... I will try to stay nice about this one. Your leader of Storm Wardens. Could somebody be putting pressure on him to cooperate with them? I'm not saying he is innocent here. He is not innocent. I'm sorry. I have to agree with what was said earlier tonight. Big fat poopy head liar. But at same time, maybe he is not one of... Maybe he's not as bad as I thought he was. Maybe he's being... I'm sorry, but she flips into Elven. Coerced. I don't know word in common.
Right.
She'll flip back to common. Made to do something under pressure.
I mean, his title, his job definitely comes with a lot of pressure. But I don't know. It's possible. He's obviously talking to some sort of cloaked figure.
Would you be... Well, more specifically, would you be turning me in if I tried to get a better look at his letter and the rest of his room?
Now that's a risky. Wow. Yeah, that would, Oh, man. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't hear you there. I mean, it's possible, but the consequences if something goes wrong is quite extreme.
Yes, and I don't... Ugh.
But it might be
Maybe
something
we better
we
if we
need.
just leave. Talk to the council in the morning, tell them what we know, leave it up to this foul city, and get out. But anyway, I don't even know where this person lives, so it doesn't matter.
At the very least, Gronk, I appreciate you doing this.
Gives him the nod. When you guys were fighting down next to the Frostfire Citadel, none of them appeared to be real, like, other than elves. Gallereth swears that, at least stated that took care of Khazdurim that made it into the building itself.
The vast majority of what we saw was illusion, except for, of course, the large fire elemental that has singed me. At this point, the little quill's on fire again. And then there was the elven feminine figure that I tried to bring over to the rest of the group. And then the one that Asja cleaned out their backside.
She gets
Yes,
a
the only
mischievous
two-
little smile on her face at that one.
The only two that we were able to identify were elves, pretending to be Khazdurim. I think it's very, very unlikely that elves and Khazdurim were working together to steal
Right.
the city's elemental.
That'd be the first. But it also if the Gazderb did try to make a play, they would need someone on the inside.
Yes, they would.
You were
don't
going
know.
to say Maldorwen?
I was going to say, if the wind caller has reason to lie, I wouldn't see why he would be telling the truth about this. I would be more interested in knowing what his reason to lie is. And then, regarding the Khazdurim, if they are here, I guess they must know of Elendor somehow.
And we'll say the Wind Caller's been quite a lot recently. Complaining about how the council doesn't want to take any action to such a threat. I don't know. I can't stay here long. I need to get, or else I'm not seen, so it's gonna be bad for me.
What do you think will happen to the city if you lose your primal ember, Gronk?
It's, I don't like to think about things like that. I mean, if the ember's gone, primal barrier wouldn't go up. And then, well, when the harsh comes, let's just say we probably have to evacuate.
I see.
I have seen
Well-
the result of missing your primal essence. It's not pretty.
You would not have to evacuate, you would just have to do what the rest of us did when we lost our primal essence, and during the harsh, go underground. A lot cooler, somewhat safer, and if you have somebody who can work with water magic, you do have all those wonderful tunnels and temples under this city. I'm sure you could house people. Just a suggestion.
There's a lot of people here, though. Don't know how much those tunnels could take. Regardless, this is all... It's all crazy. One other thing that I did think of. If Galar did dispose... disintegrate, I think is the words he used. Of, Khazdurim up there. They would have had to been taken somewhere, right? You can't just leave corpses around. We all know how that turns out.
Well, he
According
said they
to
were
him.
incinerated.
Correct. Nothing remained. By his own hand, I believe the claim was.
By his own hand, no one else witnessed it, and they were completely turned into piles of dust. Very convenient.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess that's possible. I don't know if I've seen the Woodcaller be able to do a feat like that. Like, yeah, kill someone, sure. But complete disapparage of even their bones? I don't know. Maybe. Regardless, just a thought that I had. Alright. I gotta get going though. Puts the hood back up. I'll be there tomorrow at the meeting. I don't know. Speaking against Galareth it's a heavy task. You all better think about if that's really the path you want to take here. Having him as your enemy is not gonna... Right now he probably doesn't like you, but he's not your enemy yet. Speak against him, that will probably change. Good luck. As he goes and opens the door. Looks back to you one more time. Back to the group. Gives a little nod and slips back into the hallway.
Oh, it gets even more complicated. And it is possible that Kerath doesn't even know that the people that he incinerated were not actually dwarves or Khazdurim.
I question if he actually did kill anyone. Because there's one thing I can promise you. If the city burns, there are still remains.
Yes. But when I went to my room to change, I found the second shadow. One with thorns.
Euan cocks an eyebrow. And what did this thorny figure have to say?
They want to talk with all of us. Says it is much more complicated than we understand. With this note that the detective found and everything, I don't know if they are behind the whole thing.
Either we're going to be, if they wish to speak with all of us, either we're going in for a briefing or we're going into an ambush. And I don't think, I know I'm not prepared right now to be able to fight. I think a rest would still do us all good. Even if it's just a small one. I don't like the odds of going into a situation underprepared.
Yes, that is true. I could also use a rest. But I don't have a problem with taking things from your enemy or taking things to survive. These people, they're in a flourishing city. I don't get what they want or what they are doing. And I feel it would be best to root them out. Except they are the only ones that I know of that have the information that I need. And if I make them my enemy, I will never get it.
What do the two of you think? He'll look over to Maldorwen and Asja.
Maldorwen, you want to go first? I'm very confused. That would be my answer right now.
Well, we could hear the shadow thorn out. Maybe that will make things more clear.
I think at this point, any information is helpful.
I do agree that we should go talk to this Shadowthorn and get more. Maybe they are willing to give us more information than anybody else has been able to. Maybe then we can understand a bit better and the confusion will be lessened.
Unless it is either an ambush to prevent us from showing up tomorrow and making us look guilty, or it is lies intended to confuse us and throw us off the actual trail.
In that case, it would be more of the same that we already had. So why run away from it?
Oh, I don't want to run. I just want to point out the stakes.
I think we all know the stakes. Gronk just made it very clear.
I think we have to explore every option and every avenue that we have. We have others that we also would like to, or at least I would like to speak with as well. I think this is a good place to start.
Well, I don't know how it will go, I would still like to get some sort of deal for the information that I want. It could help most of our causes. But I don't know. We need to rest anyway. I'm probably just going to go ponder in my room. Let me know if you need anything.
There are snacks here if you're hungry.
Oh, I had plenty to eat at the party. But thank you. And he'll get up and step out. Head to his room.
Well, I think I will also go to my room and put my things in order. Perhaps match the conflict for a little while for signs. It is so confusing. But I will see you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
Take care.
And after they both leave, Asja will just kind of go. Again, I question why I left. I mean, it has not been a bad time, but
It's a lot to take in, especially when you're not used to it.
it is very different from back home. But also, I'm confused by something else. The one that protects my city. He, as I said earlier, he gave me vision, dream, something like that. And he took me to the Kastorm camp. And specifically, I'm very confused because why would he lead me there and have me listen to their laughter and was he telling me that they are danger, or was he telling me that I need to help them out? I don't know. I'm very confused right now. And then, of course, there are other things that are happening, but they are not involved in this. So I'm trying to push them to back of my mind right now. And then, again, things are very different. It is hard for me to, I don't know, maybe find having feelings that I don't think I've really experienced in my life before in a very short amount of time. And I feel very soon that all of my grandmother's teachings on how to still my mind and everything and not be so much of my fire side is going to break through, and I might actually start using bad words. It would be a bad thing.
It's impossible for Euan to hide the smirk at the thought of Asja using bad words. But he will go over to the corner of the room, kind of opposite where Asja is sitting by the window, and put his back against the wall. Kind of slide down it and sit on the floor. Let me ask you this. The one who protects your city, do you trust him?
Always. He is... I don't know, he is always... Since just before we found Kurasata, I've always kind of felt his presence. It was not until I was older that I began to really be able to. And my grandmother spoke of him. It's not that I'm special, that I am the only person, but again, the family name, kind of more a title than anything else. But yes, I trust him completely. He has no reason to... I wish you could remember. Our society is very much revolves around how we feel he is. There is judgments and there is things like that, but really there is more compassion and understanding, and there is no lies. So I don't think he would lead me on a fool's mission, but I don't... All of this other information coming, I just don't... I think talking to this Shadowthorn and hearing what he has to say will probably, as I said, lead to some clarity of what's going to happen, but... As you said, we are not the strongest, so... Or at least at our full skills right now. So I'm going to ask you, Euan. I know you don't remember Karasata right now, but I need you to believe me that you have been there before. If something happens to me... She takes a key out of her bag and hands it to you. Downstairs there are lockers. This is for locker... She reads out the number. I need you to take what's in there, and I need you to head back into the Desert Shade Woods. Once you get around the mountains, I need you to start heading south. I'm hoping your eyes will be cleared to Kurasata and be able to find the way back in because you have been there before. But also because I have sent you with what's in that box. It's 3 more crystals. It will give my people a little bit more time.
Euan will nod slowly and take the key and slip it into his belt pouch. Then I will do as you ask.
I appreciate that.
Smile a little bit. And for the record, if you trust in the person that is protecting your city and who you say is guiding you, then I trust in you that you will find the true meaning of what he is telling you and do what you need to.
I will have more faith in myself. Don't worry. As I said earlier, though, it would be nice to have my grandmother around. She never prepared me for something like this. Anyways, we should rest. Much like the others.
Yep, politics were never my thing at home. That's tiring business.
I don't get involved in the politics. I just smile, nod, deliver babies, and put dead people into fires. That's about it.
Oh, that explains a lot. Alright, I agree we should get some rest. Before we go into whatever hell's hole we're going into next.
Alright. As the 4 of you kind of separated some, but rest for a bit. You can count this as a short rest. So if you have a healer's kit, you can use a charge of that healer's kit to kind of bandage your wounds. Those of you that have wounds. And then roll half your hit dice. Or, no, it's odd hit dice. Half your hit dice. Yeah. Round it down. Round it up.
Okay. I was like, I think I got a healer's kit. Yes, I did.
Yeah, you got one, I think, chapter 1, chapter 2.
Yeah. Oh. Oof. Ooh, 12, nice.
Alright. that's a nice roll there. 10 hit points back.
Wait, did that not show up on screen? Stream?
I didn't see
reroll.
your roll, no.
2d8.
Euan, do you have your own healer's kit?
Plus 2. Plus 4. Oh. Max
There
blood.
you go. Just 1 hit points back. Nice. Maldorwen, you rolling any? Honestly, I don't think you got hurt, did you? I don't think so.
I did not get touched. I am at
Yeah,
full
that
hit
invisibility
points.
can clutch.
And that's why we have it.
Yeah, I'm also fine. Like, I don't need to
That's right.
restore any of my hit
Illusions
points.
looked threatening, but they did no damage. All right.
That 13 got me back up to full health, so that's a
Nice.
definite plus.
That's good. Okay. So you all sit around for roughly a little over an hour. Just a bunch of stuff going through your minds of the next steps you're going to take and how to achieve what you want to achieve. You eventually can't... the tension of everything going on is too much, and you're all a little too restless. You eventually stand up and meet back up.
DM, I'm going to say that during the short rest, while snacking, Euan is going to use 1 charge of the hot sauce to
Okay.
enhance his abilities.
Very nice. So you douse some snacks with some hot sauce. Ooh,
They're
spicy.
delicious.
Okay. Rhukkarrak will kind of come and knock on Asja's door again. Are we ready?
Yes. And she'll scoop Rupert up off the bed and plop him down on her head.
I have made a mistake. I might need help getting up off the floor as he's struggling trying to stand up.
Oh no. She'll go over
Is
and knock on
Maldorwen in there
Maldorwen.
too?
Maldorwen, we might need some help getting Euan off the floor. Help, he's fallen and he cannot get up.
Are you like yelling this down the hallway? That's hilarious.
Yes.
I mean, Rhukkarrak will come over and help him up.
Yeah, I'll come over, of course.
He's a big boy. I figure it might take like quite a few of us to kind of.
How many party members does it take to get a Euan up? That's the question.
More than we have access to.
All right. So you all just
go.
heading out towards the docks. Where are you going?
Is there any stops we want to make on the way? And
Just
no, I'm not just trying to avoid, or maybe just a little.
I was just gonna kind of stop for a second and sniff the air. No. I think I'm good going in that direction. It smells like there are maybe some food vendors that way. I didn't eat today. That was probably a bad idea. And while the party food was good, it's not very filling. Very cheap. Ugh.
Didn't
I
you
thought
just
it
have
was-
some snacks as well?
I know,
Oh.
but those were just snacks.
There are never enough snacks around.
We're going towards the docks. Maybe there is some fish on stick, or maybe there is some. Remember those crabs from Frustum? Maybe there are those. I mean, we are going small fishermen, and it just takes 2 seconds to pick up street meat. So I pick up street meat. We keep going, and then you know what? When we get there, Asja has food to put in her mouth, so she won't put her foot in her mouth instead. And there we go. I am
I
hungry.
don't know
That's what I
who
am
would be
saying,
open
but
at
I
this
did
point,
not think
but,
we late
that
night
would be
food
good idea.
vendors. Let's go.
Yeah.
See, we get food to go. Best idea. Unlike if we stay at home, well, Flamin' Flagon, where we have to sit down, wait for them to make the food, all the rest of this. At this point, we get food off the street. It's very quick food. We put, and we carry with us. Let us go. And Asja is going to stop as she's walking. But, Ruka, you should probably take lead because you know where we're really going.
It's just the docks. It's where we were before. With the ship we tried to chit-chat with.
Oh.
Anyway, shouldn't be hard to spot in the, I would assume, would be relatively empty markets because of the celebrations. Let's go.
Seems like my intuition was right.
All right. You all start walking that way. It takes you a decent amount of time because it's pretty much across the city that you're walking. You have to travel across canals, up across bridges, down throughout the city, which is slowly dying down as the night gets later and later. As you do approach the Tideborn markets, you do still see some bustle and move, as there are lots of different food vendors and whatnot that are handing out different foods and whatnot. As it's almost like after the races, because the Tideborn market is right next to the Tideway Arena, a lot of the people just came over and was like, it's time to shop. And so there's a decent amount of people that aren't at parties or whatnot, but still enjoying the festivities in their own right by going through the markets and tasting the different foods of Elendor, which primarily is seafood. Different crustaceans, fish, and whatnot. And you all are able to pick up, many a snack.
Yeah, much like that first day after the tide fins, she's just going to kind of walk up and spend about a gold, but, kind of go to different stalls and pick up, can I have one of those, 3 of those, and, but somehow still be keeping up with the party.
Mm-hmm. Rhukkarrak will be heavily influenced by the smells and Asja's excitement over the food that she's eating, and will probably follow her to a stall or two, and he's probably got like double fisting some sticks of some kind of meat that's roasted.
I guess the geezers are gonna be walking slower. And I'm just gonna stay next to Euan.
Yeah, Grandpa and Grandpa will be in the back while the 2 kids are going whee all over the food.
Who forgot the child leashes?
Oh no. Eventually, though, after several snacks here and there, tasting the local cuisine, you do kind of get a little more focused and start looking for this place that you were looking for, the Drifting Hole. Go ahead and let's just get a group investigation check again. As you're walking through the crowded, kind of chaotic markets of Elendor.
You said investigation or perception? Investigation.
That's a 20 for Maldorwen.
Ooh.
18 for Asja.
10 for Euan. We actually have a good set of rolls, guys.
Yeah, that was average there is pretty good.
We're not in combat yet. Don't worry about it.
So, yeah, it doesn't take you as long. It would have been shorter if you didn't stop for all the snacks, but snacks are important. So you do find, and it's not in the same spot that you saw it earlier in the day. It is once again drifting, as it kind of slowly makes rounds around different docks and whatnot. You see it off in the distance.
But the conflict guides me, so I'll point it
Yes.
to the group.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Are we ready?
Ready as will ever be.
Ready as we'll ever be.
I am
Alright.
actually very curious. I have never been to this kind of establishment before, or with dark people before. So let's go meet the dark, spooky people. I'm trying to stay positive.
Watch
The
your
opposite
back.
of what we are.
Watch my back. She's gonna start trying to look over her shoulder. How long do I have to do for?
Here,
It
let me help.
it just means that you need to be careful
Oh,
and
next
watch for
time just say
danger
be
from
careful.
behind.
Oh, then why don't you just say that? Let's go.
Because it's more than
You
just
can
be
always
careful.
stay
it's-
Rupert to watch your back.
Rupert is
Good
just
idea. Picks him up and
backwards.
turns him around. Yep.
just staring down. Like, his eyes squinting, like, something's back there.
She'll just move
Okay.
his tail in with her hair so it looks like part of her bangs, and here we go.
All right. You approach as it slowly drifts away. Yet again, an larger orcish individual on top deck kind of looks out to you all, and you make eye contact.
Are you Ugrok's brother?
Just like confusion. You all
Your
looking for
boss.
drink?
Perhaps a little bit of conversation. We were invited tonight.
Just kind of gives a smile as he steps up, makes his way over to a large kind of plank, kind of smacks the side of the boat itself. It slowly drifts to a stop. He then throws out a plank that clatters onto the dock itself. Makes a short but walkable gangplank of sorts. Just kind of nods to you all, and then goes below deck.
Ruka will follow. This time when he's going in, he is one, on high alert. Two, looking for potential weak points that he can exploit if he came here in a more stealthy manner.
Okay. Go ahead and just give me a perception check.
He is looking for alternate options should this not go well.
Can I look to see if I can spot the Dark Sun sigil or symbol that was described by Gronk?
Yeah, go ahead and roll perception for me as well.
Okay, can I guide myself?
How do you do so?
So I think I'm gonna like adjust my helmet in a more intimidating way, kind of like tilting it forward, and my eyes will glow with a like almost golden hue as I stare intently around.
Okay. Go ahead and roll with your d4.
Okay. So perception or investigation?
This would just be perception unless you're wanting to like get up close, like actually investigate stuff.
I just want to see if I spot it. Okay, 17 plus d4. Okay, 18 total.
18 for Maldorwen and 18 for Rhukkarrak. Nice. All right, Rhukkarrak, you kind of give it a bit more of a that's not the right word. A better look than you did previously. And you can see the windows that might have once been there on this boat are completely boarded up quite heavily. And it is ramshackled, quite dilapidated. Like, the mast itself isn't even, like, functional. And you look around, it definitely, you don't think it would be super hard to, like, break and enter this place? It's just a boat. Like, it's relatively small in comparison to some of the other larger shipping vessels within the Tybor markets here. But yeah, you're nothing like, that's a spot that I could definitely go towards. Kind of peeks out to you, but it doesn't seem like it would be super, super difficult regardless. Maldorwen, you do spot something similar to what Gronk described. There's a small little signage that kind of just hangs off of the main dock there, or the boat, that says the Drifting Hull. And just in one of the corners, you see a small little, almost painted on, looks like a little bit of grunge if you weren't looking for it. But it is a little, like, circular, darkened sphere with a little bit of points around it.
Like a black metal band logo, gotcha.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay, then
Seems
we'll
like
head
we're
down.
at the right spot.
Of course we are.
All right,
I don't
you all
like it
step
here at
aboard.
all.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, with every footfall, the wood kind of underneath your feet creaks quite heavily. But you make your way towards where the orcish figure descended into. And following behind, you step down some more stairs that are also incredibly creaky. Kind of sends chills down your spine a little bit. You're already a little nervous here with each one of those creaks. It just amplifies that nervousness kind of in your blood. But you're led into the basement, or the hull of this ship here. And you see there are a couple figures in here. There's the one orc that you saw outside, and a couple other elves that are, or you'd assume to be elves. They're not quite as bulky and burly as the orc that you see there, that's kind of just looking at you all with a little bit of a grin on their face as you all step in. But everyone else in here is pretty much cloaked in pretty decent, like, hooded figures. Some of which are similar to what you saw earlier in the day. Especially on the individual that Asja knocked out. But standing kind of as you enter, this individual stands up, another hooded figure. Definitely not super burly, kind of scrawny. Still cloaked, and you can't see a lot of details about them at all. It almost is like the shadows that are flickering from the lantern light in here are clinging more heavily to this figure, as they kind of just turn their cowl towards you all.
Welcome. Please have a seat.
And some of the other individuals kind of pull out some chairs for you.
There's a bit
Rhukkarrak
of a...
will-
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say there's a bit of a visible chill kind of run down Euan's spine as he makes his way over to take a seat.
Well, Rhukkarrak's going to look at the rest of the party and take a... he'll kind of test his chair before sitting on it.
It's kind of creaky, but it's a chair.
Mm-hmm.
Maldorwen will rest his crossbow against the chair and jump onto like the bar that's along the wall and sit there.
Okay.
So we'll move forward and sit in the chair. And while she does look very uncomfortable, she is actually taking in the surroundings. So taking in the room, seeing how many people are there and stuff like that. Just
Yeah, you
curiosity, yet also been told to watch her back.
You count 5 people in here. The orc, this main shadow figure, and 3 other cloaked figures.
Okay.
I must know. Is this city your enemy for some reason?
What would give you that idea?
Well, I'm trying to figure out why you would want to steal from the city.
Oh, the naivety. You are a curious bunch.
He kind of just is looking at all of you behind the cowl. So you don't make any really eye contact at all. You can kind of barely see the kind of sickly green eyes staring back at you, but just barely out of the void that is his cowl.
Then please cure my naivete. Why? What is it that you are trying to accomplish? What do you want? And what is your... I guess we can talk about that later. What is it that you want to accomplish? What is it that we are missing?
We want what all citizens want. To make sure the city is safe.
His eyebrow raises at that. But he lets him continue.
You all have interesting point of view. Being so new here. The Gazdurim, I should not need to tell you, but they pose a very large threat. Many of you should know this. They have torn through our lands many times, even though the years might dilute some of those memories. And while they put on a good disguise, they are not innocent. At least not all of them.
He kind of looks towards Rhukkarrak.
I task you to discover more of why they are here. They have been here now for nearly a 10-day, little longer. Do you think I would send you on a wild goose chase? I know of their ill intent.
I have seen nothing.
Then you do not look. I expected more.
What have you seen that makes you so sure?
They are here for one reason. And that is to plot against our defenses. Discover our weak points
What proof do you have of this?
There was a scout that did thorough investigation of their campsite and was able to find their notes. They spoke of the tunnel. They spoke of other things that the city did not know of. It is in my understanding you all are to be asked upon what you experienced tonight at tomorrow's meeting. What will you say?
What we experienced weren't Khazdurim. What we experienced were elves that attacked with illusory magic to make it appear as though the Khazdurim were attacking.
And what would be the benefit if they were actually working with Khazdurim for them to look like Khazdurim? Wouldn't it be better for them to look like elves if they had that ability? To make it look like they belonged there? Rather than quite obviously make it look like they were this threat. How would that make any sense at all? Please enlighten me, since I'm so naive.
The attack tonight was not the Khazdurim. It was merely a farce to show what is to come, a look, a glimpse into the future if we do not take action.
If there was not Khazdurim, then what did Kelrath see?
What he was told to see.
He kind of looks over to Maldorwen, sitting on the bar there.
Good to see. Your people are always so intriguing. You are not of them, though, are you? No. That helm is different.
Who are you speaking of?
Yeah, well, one. I have dealings with your people.
Kind of looks away from you. Over to Asja. And just kind of stares for a couple seconds that seem like eternity, with the quiet kind of creaking wood underneath the boat here.
As she feels his eyes, because you did say we could see at least kind of glints of the green eyes on her, her face just goes from kind of curious to just a warm smile, and her eyes will meet his for as long as he's staring at her.
Kind of blinks and then looks away.
You all tread in dangerous waters, I'm sure you're aware of that. If not, there's no hope for you yet.
I think
I
the danger
wish-
is the one thing we do all bloody understand from all of this. I'm tired of
Yes.
these games. I want answers.
I wish your words rang true. I wish I could trust you. I wish that
Don't.
this could be an a great exchange. But your words do not make sense.
You should not trust no one. It is the only way.
No one. You do not trust, as he gestures around the room, them to do their job? Whatever job you have them do?
I don't have to. What answers do you so seek?
Too many. And
Kinda
I fear
looks
the cost.
back towards Euan.
Euan will meet his eyes, and his own pupils will kind of undilate into like slits as he meets the gaze. I want to know why this is happening. If you wanted us to look into this, if there was an issue, you know that we have been involved. Why did you not speak to the rest of us sooner? Instead, you have sat here, you have not fed us any sort of real information, you have been talking in circles. And I don't trust a word that you have said. I have every reason to distrust the Khazdorim, as do many of us here. But the only people that I have seen I have been unable to trust is 95% of the people that I have met in this city and the people sitting here in this boat opposite me. Everywhere we go is a dead end. Every option we take, we are losing sight of of any possibilities of what we could be finding. And every time we think we have a lead, the plot thickens. It gets deeper, and I don't know where to look next. Euan, I should clarify, just Euan, not the player, is getting like visibly frustrated and starting to trip over his words as he's trying to think of what to say and trying to keep his temper down, unable to do both.
Asja will just put a hand on his arm and look at him and smile. Take a breath.
We don't have time to go back out to the camp. And that is the only evidence that you have given us that we can verify. The council meeting is tomorrow.
As
Euan will
to
take his breath, look to
what
Asja
is-
and say, "Thank you, little one."
as to what is happening. War. Not the war
See?
that so many of us are used to. But something more evasive. We are trying to stop this city from falling. Open eyes of council members that do not see what we see.
You say this, but attacking the Khazdurim, taking matters into your own hands, is an act of war. And if they are not planning anything, if your intel is wrong, if there is someone who is trying to divert the blame to someone else, then the war is going to start again on your hands. And I do not want to see more bloodshed in another war like what happened decades ago.
Because as you spoke, those of us who were touched by war, your little display, that is nothing. You know this city would have no time. None. Just like every other city the Khazdurim ever came to. There is no time.
Precisely why we need to act now. And
That is not true. Kertus hasn't fallen. We've met the Khazdurim many times in the battlefield. And you and Euan. So what should they do? Surrender their ember? And run to the caves? Is that what they should do?
Euan will turn around and stare down Maldorwen with a malice as yet unseen by the party. Ah. As he seeks the words to say and stands. I am trying to prevent a war here. I do not wish these people any ill harm. I do not wish these people to give up their ember, and you would do well to watch your tone when you are speaking to me in this manner.
Shame would you. I may not look as much, but I am a powerful enemy to make.
We should not be starting a fight amongst ourselves. We do not want anyone to steal any embers. It is definitely not the well,
I think,
the
for one thing,
Thorn
that
of Shadows, I think it's clear that we do not align with you. I don't know what it is that we are wanting to do, but it is not here.
it's quite the
Go ahead.
opposite.
Go ahead, little one. What were you saying? He will say as he tries to calm himself down.
she's going to look at Shadowthorn. Unfortunately, from what he's saying, he also seems to be wanting to stop a war from happening, but just in a different manner. I do not want war to come again. It has not been that long. While conflict happens, I understand that. But even times of peace need to be able to grow. Unfortunately, I never thought I'd say this. I think we should listen to more of what Shadowthorn has to say. But if we are to trust you, then you are going to have to give us some reason to do so. Because right now, all of us, we just feel like puppets on sticks for your entertainment. Oh look, these new people came at good time. All sides seem to make us want to take fall. We are just helping because somebody asked us to help. That was it. I don't want to take a fall for this city. Your lives are important to me. But I have other people's lives that I also have to take care of. And if the Castorum are returning, there are very few of us left. We will need to start protecting ourselves. So if we can stop it here, or at least slow it down. Again, I think at least at this table, most of us are all on the same side. I think all of us at least don't want war.
Gives a nod.
Yes. The thing is, war has begun. The seeds of it. We are trying to prevent it from escalating. And no, I do not want you to trust me. I don't want you to trust anyone. But there is no need to make a martyr of you all. You are new to the city. You have fallen into something more than you can understand. I just ask, do not make it difficult tomorrow. Let the council members see what we are trying to show them. I do not believe...
Rhukkarrak is going to get up and walk out, and if no one stops him, he's just going to stand on the top of the ship and just kind of pace until
Okay.
the rest of the party joins him.
The orc at the kind of near the entrance kind of just sneers at you as you walk out. But they don't stop you.
I do not believe that going and removing the Castorum, at least how Calarith wants to, is the answer either. But sitting by and letting them discover everything they need to take down the city can also not be done.
Breathing deeply and staying planted in his seat because Asja asked that we listen. Euan is going to take a couple more deep, calming breaths, trying to regain his composure. Then at least tell me what you know about this sea silk that we found. Because that does not point to the Castorum. In tandem with the pick that was found in those temples in that underwater tunnel. That points far more to someone trying to set up the Castorum than it does to the Castorum themselves.
He just kind of lowers his head a little bit and puts a hand to his face.
Low
guys-
charisma for the win.
The Castorum were the ones that alerted us to this breach. There was supposed to be an alert so it could be taken care of. Things got out of hand.
The tide fins.
Kind of nods.
Do you know anything about that temple down there?
I do not. We viewed it before what happened. I think it has interesting historical information within it.
It
But we
is
had
just
other-
strange that no one seems to know anything, but there is a city built on top of it.
Exactly. Now it is under lock and key. At least we'll prevent them from using it.
So you will have someone speaking on your behalf tomorrow.
More or less.
The wind caller?
Just kind of looks towards you.
He has his part to play in this as well. Regardless, I have put this before you. It is now your decision whether you complicate this for yourselves or not. But trust me when I say, if you do, I cannot guarantee your safety.
You said
Wait,
that
I'm confused. Trust you, but not trust you. Which one is it?
Don't trust me.
I just wanted to ask. You said not to trust you, and then you said to trust you. I don't know. And she's kind of like using her fingernail on the table as she's looking down a little sheepish. Like, I don't know.
You said it was the Khazdurim that told you of this breach under the city. The temples and everything.
Not willingly. We discovered it within the notes.
And do you have these notes?
No. We were worried that taking such a thing would have alerted them to our presence.
Alright. You say that there is only a small handful, possibly. Not all of them. So most of them are probably traders. But some of them are spies.
From what
How
we've
do we...
seen,
If we do what you ask, and we speak of the concerns, how then? I cannot do what you want me to do without knowing that at least the innocent of the Khazdurim will still... How do we stop Calarith from doing what Calarith wants to do, which is just cause bloodbath on beach, which is not going to do good in any favor for stopping war?
I believe that answer lies within the council itself. They, just like us, do not want war. Perhaps try to convince them that there's other ways. I'm sure Calarith will bring everything to the forefront and demand that they be executed. But the others will hopefully have more of an open mind.
Wait. There is no reason why. The other day when we were speaking to one of the detectives, he wanted to make sure we were speaking the truth. He used a spell. Kind of created a area of truth. I'm getting ahead of myself, but when we came back from Leviathan hunting, the Storm Wardens were pretty thorough on checking the ship. Maybe that is one way we could check them, is using this truth. Weed out those that are the wrongdoers that can be punished without causing any big conflicts. It will cause ripples, but it should not cause a big explosion. And then the other ones that are here for trade, those rich council members will still get their fair share of gold and greediness from their wares. Calorith will get his blood, they will get their gold. It will just take perhaps using magics to weed out the she starts saying thorns, she stops. Weeds.
That's not a bad idea. The other option would be... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it's compromise. It's compromise of keeping the balance. So, as I said, there will still be the blood to satisfy the lust, and there will also be the gold to satisfy the greed.
The only other option that I would see besides utilizing something like that would be to vouch for turning them away, even if just temporarily, and not allowing them within the city and utilizing the guise of citizen unrest. But that feels bad.
The council
I
will
think-
take decisions tomorrow. We will be there to listen, but from what I've seen how things work in this city, I don't think we will have that much of a say. I have one question for you, Shadowthorn.
Kind of looks back to you.
Rhukkarrak said you wanted something he wants. And, well, he actually said you have it. Or you know about it. What is it?
I know of many things. Some a little more dark.
As he does that, like, the lights in the room start to dim. And then they go back.
Rhukkarrak suffers from similar blessings, curses, whatever you want to call them. He seeks ways to control them.
I see.
If we go in and do this, as you have asked, what plans do you have for backup if Calrith decides he wants bloodshed anyway?
Just kind of stares aimlessly for a moment.
If Gallereth is able to convince the council that the Gazdurum need be removed in the violent way, then at least the spies will be taken care of. Let me ask you, did the Gazdurum care about the innocents when they marched through our lands, stealing the essences that protected our people? No. We are already giving them more than they gave us. We are at least trying. I will not
Euan.
bend over backwards to save them, though. They don't deserve it.
Euan's hand curls into a fist and his claws rake across the table, leaving deep troughs where they sort of dig into the wood. I don't just mean if he convinces the council to have his way. I also ask if he decides to act on his own accord against the council's wishes.
I do not believe he will. It is not in his character. But if he does, my answer's the same. You all need rest.
Aye, that we do.
Big day tomorrow. Think about what you want to fight for. And what you're willing to give for it.
I never lost sight of the conflict. Not for once. And apparently, somehow I am the enemy. Because it seems like you would rather protect the Kazdurim or buy their wars than mine, who has been fighting alongside you. If you want to make enemies of Kertas, so be it.
Who are you directing this towards? Another one.
Euan and Asja.
Okay.
What do you mean I am making you the enemy, Maldorwen?
Why do you want to protect the Kazdurim so much? Did they give you proof? Did you go to them and demanded them to show you they were innocent?
Because I am not like you. I do not live with war and bloodthirst. I don't have that much hatred in my heart that I could take an innocent life. That is
so
why.
You know that I have taken
The ones that are
innocents' lives.
innocent there.
So it seems like you know me so
seem to
well.
be okay with everybody going to the beach and just being killed. We already have knowledge that they're not all guilty out there.
Stop putting words in my mouth. I never said that.
Then stop putting words in mine by saying that we see you as an enemy.
Well, perhaps you are not seeing me as the enemy, but Euan certainly is. Then.
Well, you've already accused me of same.
If you think I'm the enemy, why don't you go ahead and strike me down now?
Because it is against my better judgment. Because I have seen your character. And even though we do not see eye to eye, I am not going to attack someone that I have fought in battle with. Because I believe that there can be and is good in everyone.
I need
Regardless.
3 of you to make charisma saves.
Okay.
Ten.
4.
13.
Yeah, you all fail. So, as you all, the tensions are getting quite heated here. The flames start to flicker more and more, and those shadows dance further and further. And they just kind of lick up around the 3 of you. And there's a sense of ease that just kind of falls upon you all. And someone cast Calm Emotions on the 3 of you. As your emotions just still there, but just dulled for a moment.
Figure out where you stand.
And you kind of just... You get an air of sense that, alright, it's time to go. As they all kind of just stand up and kind of motion towards the exit.
I have one last thing, Shadowthorn. If I am helping you with your work, then here's my price. I am not out here to be people's puppet. I am out here to save my people. If you know of anywhere where she taps her crystals could be found. Raw ones. I would be very appreciative. I don't think you would know anything else about the other things that I want. But if you come across those, seeing as you seem to have a lot of information about these things, that's my price.
Very well.
And she'll turn and walk out the door.
Do Euan and Maldorwen follow?
Yep.
Aye.
Rhukkarrak, what have you been up to? It's been probably a good 15-20 minutes now since you departed from the rest of the group.
He has just been pacing back and forth, just milling everything over in his head, trying to. There's mostly nothing. Probably heard a little bit of the shouting. Not
You
really
actually
paying attention
didn't.
that much to it. No? Okay, good.
As you
I
left,
wasn't really paying attention to
you
it
heard nothing from the interior.
Okay. Then yeah, no, he's just pacing back and forth, frustration, trying to.
Okay. As the 3 of you arrive back up at the top, you see Rhukkarrak there. What do you all do?
Are we leaving now?
It's time to leave.
Good. And as soon as the gangplank or whatever's put out, Rhukkarrak's across it.
It wouldn't have been brought up. So you can, yeah, hop off and start making your way back to the Flaming Flagon. Where are you guys heading?
Asja is going to stop at the bottom of the gangplank and wait for people to get off. And as everyone kind of gets to the bottom, she's going to turn. First to Rhukkarrak. Do you, when you get upset, normally just storm off like that? I mean, this is second time now.
I was done listening to their words.
Oh. So whenever you choose to stop listening, you just walk off like that? Because first time was when you were talking to Maldorwen at the beach. You just walked off. Second time was there.
I did not want to hear more twisted words or do something that I would regret.
Funny how you can trust the Kasdurim so easy then.
I don't know what is going on. There are two things that I do know. One, there is deep corruption in this city. And if they don't get it figured out, then it doesn't matter if it is Kasdurum, if it is elf, if it is giant, I don't know. There will be war, and this city will fall. And the other thing is, I know that there are. I don't know if every one of the Kasdurum are good, great people, but I do know that there are some good, great people there. And if this city wants to reject them, that is their choice. I just hope that they do it in a way that is understanding of those innocent people who just came here to trade. That is what I know. I have no clue who is involved with what or how or why. And the Shadow Thorn makes a point. You really don't know who or what everyone's doing, and pointing fingers is not going to help anything.
Well, that's what
Maybe
you're
we
doing. You're pointing fingers at the corruption in the city. You don't even know what it is. You don't even know who is corrupt and who's not. But you already condemned the whole damn thing. You already condemned it to fall. Well, I condemn it to fight.
When you have elves in their own city working to destroy the one thing that is to protect it, I call that corruption that is going to make the whole thing fall. Who these elves are or what they are associated with, I have no clue. If they are working with the Kasdurum to make it fall, or if they are working with someone inside to make it fall, I have no clue.
One would think that you would understand their methods. You're also cursed, aren't you? You've also done the same. Who knows what you look like? Didn't you come to Kerters like that? Didn't you take my hospitality like that?
Oh,
they are just trying to do what they think is right. They are just trying to fight back. But it seems like none of you want to fight back. You just want to surrender and go into a cave. Well, that's not what we Cartusi gnomes do. And I'm very sorry that I am one. But that's what I am. And you don't know if I hate anyone. You don't know if I hate.
The conflict. You're no better than the Kasdurum yourself.
Oh, really? You don't even know me. You don't even know my name, Yuan.
You want us to be understanding of Cartusi gnomes. Well, why don't you be understanding of Green Director?
Understanding of what?
Gemborn elf. How
Understanding
we
of
think
what?
about, how we feel about as well. I have tried tiptoeing around to make sure that everybody is okay with how I say things around here. But no, I'm sorry. I don't like
The only thing
Castorum.
you've said
And do you
is
want
that
to
the
know why I
city is
want to
going to fall. That's what
Yes.
you've said.
Yes. If war comes, that is what's going to happen. I am glad.
Why are you so sure?
I am so glad for you that your city never fell.
Because we fought. That's why.
So did we. But they came from underground, and we were not ready. You, right now, are saying that my family, my ancestors, my lineage did nothing? That what, we were cowards? You insult me like that? You say I am the enemy. I think you are the enemy. I don't. Do you want to know why I protect them? Why I want to protect the innocent ones? Why I would protect innocent anybodies around here? Is because I serve one. I don't know if you understand about higher feelings, but you do when you say you talk to conflict. Much like your conflict, I have something also that I serve. And it gave me message. Very confusing message. But there is something to protect there. But
You know
if
me
somebody
so
could show
little.
me there is also... And you know me so little as well.
And you keep putting words in
But
my
you
mouth. Stop
can
it.
insult me and you can be rude.
I didn't insult you.
You did.
Did I insult
say
you?
That the by saying,
What I said
oh,
was that we fought. That I didn't say that you didn't. Stop putting words in my mouth.
That is how you made it sound, Maldorwen. And if you did not want to make it sound that way, maybe calm down and choose words a bit wiser. Because
If
that's
you
how
think-
it sounded to me, was that you were insulting the rest of us. That
I
what,
am
we were
not.
cowards? We just ran and hid in the woods? Like what?
I remember the
Children,
names of
like
many
I
elven
was?
warriors. I remember the name of many who fought beside me and fell. What I'm saying
Some
is,
respect.
if you don't think your city was ready, wouldn't you give Elendor the chance to be? That's what they're trying to do. Perhaps you don't agree with their methods, but they're trying to do the same.
And were you too mixed up in your conflict to be listening when I just said in there that what Shadowthorn said made sense? And that maybe we should do what he asked us to do. Maybe we should. Bring forth both options, that there are dangers within the Castorum there.
You clearly think I am not an ally, at least. And perhaps an enemy. So, if you will excuse me, and I will walk off.
As you all, very high tensions, start to make your way towards your next destination. Lots of thoughts buzzing in your head. Lots of emotions to be had. Now, before we continue on with the story, things are quite heated right now with the party of the Motley Hue. So I do just want to reiterate with myself here, as well as the players, that we are all just playing a game, having fun, telling a story. Right, guys?
Absolutely.
We are all good. Everything is
Yeah.
fine.
And taking a break from the Euan voice to just be Crypt for a second. Crypt likes inter-party conflict at times. Crypt is not mad. Euan is struggling.
Yeah. Conflict can make for a great story, and it can be fun to roleplay. But yeah, we're all friends. It's fun.
We only hit the DM.
Let's go,
'cause he's trying to
conflict.
kill us.
Yes.
Yeah, all they just pointed at me. Yeah.
All of it.
But no. With that, just kind of
Back into
clarified,
character.
just to make sure. Let's get back in to the thick of it, shall we? So, With the tensions incredibly high, Maldorwen storms off. The three of you are left there right as some other elves start to pass you by, but the night is drawing to a close. It is quite late. Lunar is high in the sky, met with Terradin near it. Where are you all going? What are you doing?
I think it would be best if we all got some rest.
I couldn't agree more, Rhukkarrak. Perhaps a quick soak in the baths. I need to calm down.
I will meet you back at the Flame and Flagon. I am going to walk back. I want as well some time to recollect my thoughts. I'm not proud of how I just acted there. My feelings were valid, but I was not mature.
I think we could all use a breath of fresh air. Well, calming air at least.
I will see you back at the Flame and Flagon. And she's just gonna kind of wander through the markets and wander her way back to the Flame and Flagon with no detours or anything like that, but she's just gonna kind of take in the city as she's walking and, I don't know, look at the details and, just kind of architecture, the feeling, that kind of stuff as she goes, but also try and still her mind and, get her emotions back into check.
Right. The inner fire that is an elf's emotion. You kind of calm it down a little bit. Big, deep breaths as you walk throughout Elendor here. Are any of you making any detours? Or are you all just taking some time to yourselves to cool off as you head back towards the Flaming Flagon?
Euan is going to stop at the baths first.
Okay.
But we can get there in a little bit.
I mean, Rhukkarrak will go with whoever is basically going straight back. But probably mostly just a amicable silence for most of the way.
All right.
He's going just to the Flame Flagon.
Okay. Where is our Kutuzinum going?
Yes, I think that Maldorwen would unconsciously and kinda going for his rapier sometimes with his hand, be looking for the drunkard that, kinda told him off the other day. But he's not gonna actively gonna be doing that. It's something that's ranging on the back of his mind, and he's definitely on edge. And right now as he walks, he kind of feels like the city itself is his enemy, and every elf that he sees is going to say something to him, especially because of the rivalry going around. And it's just the race that just ended, and people are going to be celebrating and whatnot, and that will make him feel extremely uncomfortable. So he will try and find the alleyways and make his way back to the tavern, but looking for safety, perhaps end up in the tight chapter. Yeah.
Okay. I'll say, as you do kind of make your way towards there, you do look at all these elves that are still celebrating, a little less so as the night wanes on. But a lot of them do kind of look towards you and almost shy away for the most part, as you are an unknown to the city, and they are a little cautious. However, on your kind of unconscious, kind of subconscious walk here, you do hear a voice kind of call out to you.
Maldorwen, is that you?
Captain? Oh, he'll kind of run towards her.
I see. What are you doing out so late?
I could ask you the same.
It's been a day.
It has been a day. Were you heading to the Tide chapter?
But
I never
was.
asked. Do you have a house here, or do you live at the Tide chapter?
I just live there.
I
For
see.
now. I have thought about getting my own place, but most of my time is spent there anyways. I don't know how much I would use it.
I've never thought of the concept of buying a house. It definitely sounds very expensive. More that you would carry in a sack, right? How much is a house here?
I don't know the details, but you're right. More than just a sack.
Well, if you don't mind my company, I would love to walk with you to the Tide chapter. Perhaps stay the
Not
night
at all.
there if there is a room
Absolutely.
for me.
There are barracks that are quite empty nowadays.
Barracks sounds like my style, yes.
So, you all were right there at the break-in again.
Well, it seems like the conflict is right up my ass. Won't let me be.
It's a funny way of doing that, doesn't it?
Especially for us, I guess. But I heard you were outside the city hunting pyroscales.
It was one of the things I was doing, yes.
And you can see she definitely has a bit more bruises and a little more, like, bandages than previously.
And nasty buggers. Some of them are getting a little too close. But I took care of them.
I wish I was there with you instead of whatever it was today. It was not the best, but well, I'm glad you make it back safe. Do you still have the pickaxe that we brought with you, perhaps?
I should back at my office.
We have a meeting with the council tomorrow. I don't know if you heard.
That I did.
I think it might be a good idea to take the pickaxe with us, just in case, if you don't mind.
Not at all.
Thank you.
There's a moment of kind of quiet as you both just walk together.
Now, what is your plans to say at the council tomorrow?
Why do you have to ask such hard question? Oh,
I'm
I
just
don't
worried for
know.
you, as well as your companions.
I am also very worried.
When I tasked you all of looking into the custom, you were all new faces. I was hoping you'd stay a little more under the radar. Probably should have known better, seeing the lot of you. You've done a lot.
Well, coming from you, that is something that makes me feel relieved, to be honest. Perhaps something that I needed to hear. And well, know that whatever I say, I just want the city to be safe. I don't know. If there is conflict, then may the city be prepared. And if there is a way to stop it, then may we find a way to do it. Conflict guide me. And, well, there has already been enough of unrest in the city.
Yes, I agree.
If it is just to see your eyes not be as tired, I would love it for there to be peace.
Yeah, she kind of chuckles a bit. Around this time, you guys arrive at the Tide chapter.
Well, seems like there's a lot tomorrow as well.
Yes. I wish we could talk more, Captain, but I am very exhausted and I need to rest for tomorrow.
Likewise.
And she kind of will show you a larger section of the chapter that you haven't been before. There's a large kind of training barracks and whatnot that you can see the signs of people have lived in here for quite some time and whatnot, but currently it's very empty.
He'll find like a weapon rack that looks neat and hand his crossbow from there, and then turn towards the captain, nod, and find like a bunk and just lay down there and
Sleep
say,
well, Maldorwen.
You too, Captain. And back there, when you just showed up, it's like Alamor herself sent you. Thank you.
She kind of just nods and walks out. As the rest of you approach and arrive, they're still pretty bustling. Like, it is getting pretty late, but this is where the party's happening at the Flaming Flagon, so it's still quite hectic. Euan kind of diverges, goes over to the Celestial Springs bathhouse, which definitely being right next door leads to more busyness in there as well, but there's room for you to take a moment to yourself and really just brew on your thoughts and calm down a bit.
I think that Euan would initially try to go into the fire pools, since that's what has been trying to help him with his pain.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sitting there trying to mull on his thoughts, spinning them around in his head, and almost quite literally chewing on them a little bit. And then he shakes his head, gets up, and goes over to the colder water pool and steps in, trying to cool himself off a little bit.
As you do so, it is the stark difference between the two is quite shocking, as it's like ice water pretty much.
Yeah.
But it is very, very refreshing.
And I
After,
think-
yeah, like your muscles start to numb a bit, and the immediate shock kind of goes away. It is soothing.
I think that sort of shock hitting him and causing his muscles to kind of contract a little bit, and breaks up his line of thinking. I think that he starts to actually cool off finally. And after a few more moments in the pool, he will get out once his clothes and everything have been laundered again and are waiting for him. He will get out, head back over to the Flaming Flagon, go up to what has been Maldorwen's room for a while, and knock on the door.
To which no response returns.
Which he will nod and retire to his own room to go to sleep. Hope that he's not too bad off in the morning, and to still try to keep his thoughts calm and get a level head for the meeting in the morning.
Okay. Rhukkarrak, Asja, are either of you doing anything before resting for the night?
I'll let Asja go first.
No, I think Asya is just going to go upstairs and probably do some meditations and stuff like that. And again, continue to just bring herself back to a more centered position. And then set out her bedroll to go to sleep and plan to be up early to go and do something.
Okay.
I'm assuming that Rhukkarrak makes it back sooner than Asja, as Asja said she was kind of wandering a bit.
I mean,
So-
within like a minute or two, yeah.
Okay. I guess not really. Then he's like go up to his room, get ready for bed, just kind of lie there for a bit, tossing and turning. And then after maybe half an hour of not being able to get to sleep, he's actually going to get up and knock lightly on Asya's door.
Okay.
After a moment, she'll shuffle over and open the door. Yes.
Do you mind if we talk a little bit? I can't sleep.
She opens up the door and kind of motions for him to come in. You see that her bedroll is on the floor, not the bed.
He'll kind of sit down on the floor. Just, if this is too personal, please tell me, but I'm curious as to what it was like when your city fell when you were a child.
I don't have a lot of clear memories, but I can tell you about the feelings. I used to have nightmares when I was younger with more clear images, but over the decades, those have faded to more sounds and sensory like when Euan was on fire today. I could remember the smell. And I could remember the trees scratching my skin as we ran through them. We didn't know which direction we were going, just running through the trees. Other things, sometimes when people come into my city and they're very hurt and they're screaming, again, that one scream in my mind will amplify in 2000. From what I know, from what my grandmother told me, it was a normal day. Everything was fine. My parents both went to do what they had to do. My grandmother went to do what she did. I was with my aunt being watched. And then suddenly, they were in the city. My grandmother says that there wasn't a lot of time. So she gathered what children she could. The rest of my family stayed to try and protect what was the greatest of my city's assets, aside from the essence, but the archives. My city was known for centuries of history housed within it, gone. So for me, I just remember the feeling that my heart was going to fly out of my throat and chest. I remember bits and pieces of being shushed. And the smells. I'm sorry if that doesn't help you, but
No, I
I don't know why it affects me so much. I'm sorry. It's not like I was old enough to really remember this, but
I never, as I said, I did not go through a war, but my curse. I've had it since I was very little. I do not remember very much, but there was a orc that was very interested in me, and I don't know why, and the memory is filled with pain as he experimented and anyway, when we were talking earlier, I felt a bit of kindred to your pain. And that's why I was curious.
I know right now it's coming off that I have long come to understand that this is all part of what happens. I try very hard not to let the things of the past control my actions. I'm not doing very well at it right now, but she reaches in her bag and pulls out a piece of paper and hands it to you. And it's a piece of paper that has 6 names on it. I am a little bit more... It was easier not to have pain when, for years, you had nothing to have pain from. Because you had already grieved and moved on. And she points at one of the names on the list. That's my father. At least that many years ago, he was still alive.
You don't know where he is?
No, I thought he was dead. When we left, I know that my grandmother said that my mother came with us for a short time. But then she went back into the city to, again, help. Try and do what she could. So I don't know. It just opens a wound that I thought that was closed.
Ah,
And that may be why I have been a little bit more emotional today than I should be. She takes the piece of paper back and puts it back in the bag.
I mean, emotion is not bad.
When you need to have a clear head and... I don't know how many elves you've been around, but we have quite a fiery side to us. And when you need to be somebody who is a person of clarity or wisdoms, having your fiery side go up like a volcano is not a good thing. Today I lost control of my fiery side a bit more than I should have.
And
But
it's also
I'm very confused by all of this.
and it's also not good to walk out on argument. As he gives a little bit of a side smile.
No, it is not good to walk out on argument. She side smiles back. If you had stuck around a little bit more, we did actually talk more. I don't know what to think. My whole life I have been told that the Kasdorum did this to my city, and not to think of them as an enemy, but they were not. My people don't have love for them, let's put it that way. We don't wish them harm, but... Well, there are some in my community that I would say I would pity the Kasdorum that got locked in the dark room with them. Let's just put it that way. So I don't know how to feel about all of this. As I said, the one that I don't serve like servant serve, but the one that I take my teachings from, there. I don't think he would lead me astray, but I don't understand what he was trying to tell me. And I know that it's a test to try and understand it, but if what Shadowthorn, even if there is a small part of the truth to it, that with that group of merchants, there are some weeds. Maybe it would be in our favor to not point fingers at Calorith and try and topple a giant when we are insignificant ants.
Yes. And
He lied. He did. And I do not respect him for that, but maybe I understand a little bit that in his way, he is doing what he feels is best to protect the people. I don't know.
And he might be, and I do not believe the Khazdurim are infallible, are perfect. And they are people just like all of us. And it would probably be good to be cautious of, well, anyone entering the city. I wish there was a way to cut through all of everything and just know the truth.
Wouldn't that make the world so much easier? Unfortunately, as I have learned through my lifetime, you don't just get things handed. If you want something, you really do have to work for it. And I think in this case, our work is going to be a lot of thinking about what we are going to say tomorrow. Because while we are ants, our words will have some power tomorrow. Whether it is to make us great enemies, possibly lose our heads, or somehow find the balance and help both sides find a compromise to have this work.
Yes. Well, thank you for talking with me.
Anytime, but I will try not to be a volcano if you try not to walk away so much. Deal?
Dear.
All right. You go to sleep. Do you need Rupert for sleep? Rupert, you can still talk to Rupert if you do.
I think I am fine. But
Okay.
thank you for the offer, Rupert.
She just kind of tucks Rupert onto the pillow, tucks herself in before Rook has even left. Don't forget to close the door, please. And just lays her head on the pillow.
Yep, he'll make sure he softly closes the door and goes into his own room and goes to sleep.
Alrighty. Well, as you all find rest, thoughts weighing heavily on your mind of what exactly are you going to talk about in the morning. It's a little harder to find rest than maybe previously, but the exhaustion does set in, and you all do give way to unconsciousness. You all can mark off a long rest on your character sheets.
Yay.
So with that, yet again, you can roll your hit dice, that any that you have not spent yet, and then afterwards, you get a regain half, rounded up, of your hit dice back.
I'm sure that would be much more impactful at higher levels. Right now, it's only
Yes.
I only have 3 dice, so half rounded up is practically all of them.
Yep. Alright. Well, as you all wake up in the morning, I think, Asja, you're the first to wake up because you were wanting to do something before everyone else got up.
Yes. Asja is going to get up. She is going to go over to Euan's door and gently knock. Euan, Can I tell you something quick? Euan? Euan? Euan?
There's a
Euan?
little bit of shuffling. A loud thud as the flailing caused him to fall out of his bed.
No.
A loud swear as he uses the bed to stand back up and hobbles over to the door and opens it. Good
You
morning.
could have just... Good morning. You could have just said, come in. And then you not fall out of bed. But interesting to know, new drag theory. I assume it's bad one. Anyways, I am going to go out to do something. I should not be very long. I am just figuring telling you would be a good idea so that somebody knows that I have gone out. But I have something I want to try and do before the council meeting, and it would be better if I went alone, at least on this one. But I am going to the Citadel. Just so you know.
I appreciate you telling me. Stay safe. Have you seen Maldorwen anywhere?
No. But Ruka and I had a talk in my room last night. Very good one. Made my head a little less spinning. I should go so I can be back before.
Right.
I'll be back. And she's going to head out so that she can get a ferry and head to the Citadel.
Okay. With this early morning of Elendor, people are starting to rise, but less quickly than maybe other mornings, as a large portion of the city was partying all night. But there are ferrymen that do chauffeur you to where you want to go. As you make your way towards the glass glade, the crisp morning air kind of fills your lungs, as you do see the marvelous Frostfire Citadel in front of you. Large glass spires that raise high into the sky.
Alright. Well, she will approach the Citadel and kind of, I guess, is it open first off, or is it still too early?
Well, currently there are storm wardens posted at the front of the Citadel itself.
Okay.
And there's just a general more, like, when you were here just yesterday, when the races were happening, this part of the city was very vacant. And it is still pretty vacant being as early as it is in the morning, but there are quite a bit more storm wardens around. It would be more difficult to go unnoticed by them in this instance.
She's not trying to go unnoticed. She's just trying to make sure it's actually open.
You step forward and you just go towards the main doors.
Yep. Yes, she wants to go towards the main doors.
Okay, one of the guards. Can I help you?
I would like to go to the clerk so that I could possibly arrange a meeting with somebody. I want to put in official request for meeting with somebody. I think I have to do at that desk there, please.
Right, okay. On you go. The
Thank
two
you.
kind of just stare or share a glance as you walk by.
She's gonna.
As you approach
Sorry.
the large glass doors, they kind of buckle underneath their own weight as they slowly start to shift open, unveiling a little bit of the grandiose of this structure. The first room here is smaller, it's just a little entryway, and there is a couple other storm wardens in here as well, one behind a similar-ish desk to what you saw over at the Tempest Bastion.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of look towards you and welcome you in. Morning.
Morning. Is this right place? I would like to see if I could petition to meet with your wind caller, please.
Oh, I see. Well, what was the subject?
The council meeting this morning.
I see. Well, I can give word, but I'm sure he's probably busy until then. If you wanted to meet beforehand, I don't know if that will happen.
If I could give note that you could pass. Is that all right?
Yeah, that could be arranged.
Perfect. She reaches in her bag and, lo and behold, pulls out about 5 different pens and a whole bunch of paper. Yay for equipment lists. And she is going to write a note, and on the note it says, I have been asked to speak in a way that may help you. I wish to meet with you for 5 minutes. No words need to be spoken. I just need to meet with you. Asja. Even if it's just before, like, the council let in, even just prior to before the council meeting. If I could have 5 minutes. And
all right.
Fold it up. Let's hope I can do it in 5 minutes. Here you go. Thank you.
Take it from you.
And she puts her pen and paper away. I have to go eat breakfast now. I didn't eat yesterday. It was a big mistake. My stomach really hurts today. Have good
breakfast's
days.
the most
Bye-bye.
important meal of the day. Bye.
Right? I know. My grandmother said the exact same thing. Very, very wise. Bye. And she waves behind her as she walks off. And she will head back to the Flamin' Flagon.
Okay. Around this time, the rest of you are coming to awareness of consciousness. Euan, did you try to go back to sleep? It was early, but it wasn't like... You still got a full rest, you're just maybe a little groggy.
As long as there's storm brew, it's alright.
There you go. Yeah. So, Asja makes her way back. Maldorwen, you wake up at the Tide chapter. The vacant kind of interior here. It's a little less welcoming than the Flamin' Flagon. But you slept well-ish. What are you up to?
So the first thing that comes to his head as he wakes up is, oh, this is the closest that I have slept to her. So he's gonna be pretty happy. And yeah, he's just gonna, wake up, like, stretch, do a little bit of calisthenics. Since, yeah, they've been, like, fighting and stuff, and he's realized that he's a bit rusty. So he's gonna have to, like, start some exercise routine because he doesn't like messing with his... Especially if he's trying to convince him that he's a good ally. So he's gonna definitely, like, do some drills, maybe, like, shoot if there's a range.
Yeah, there is.
Yes.
Yeah, missing
so
in the eyes of the conflict is blasphemy.
Exactly. Absolute blasphemy.
The conflict comes to everyone. You're next.
All right.
So yeah, he's just gonna be doing that, and like after that, he's gonna get ready. Also wearing his more, elegant, if we could call it that, clothes, and yeah, just like he's gonna carry the pickaxe and go meet the group at I guess at the Citadel, right?
Yeah, if that's where you want to head to. I will say, as you're doing your morning routine, you do notice the captain has a similar-ish routine that she does every morning as well.
He's gonna get competitive.
Yeah, so you guys go ahead and just we'll make this fun. Go ahead and roll a d20.
Okay.
We'll say I'm trying to think if there's a just do a d20 because it's signifying a bunch of different checks that you make throughout a little bit of routine here.
Okay, 12.
All right, let me roll here.
Let's see how she does.
My thing closed. Oh no. Alright, we'll come back to that as it's loading. But she does offer you some rations for breakfast too that they have at the Tide chapter there. Definitely not nearly as delicious as the Flame and Flagon, but it is a suitable meal.
What are you talking about? He'll go like, oh, stale bread, my favorite.
That's what Maldorwen lives off of. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Reminds
There
me
it
of
goes.
Kerter, so it's gonna be perfect.
Oh!
Oh, so close.
13.
Just
Damn.
It's just like respawn.
So you get pretty competitive, and she matches your competitive nature there, and you have a fun little morning with your routines there. But it seems like where you're just right next to the bullseye, she hits the bullseye, and you're like, ah.
Yeah, that's blasphemy.
Yeah.
But
But you can
like-
see too, like you've seen a little bit of the captain's combat prowess with fighting the Tidevins, but this also
Yes.
does make you aware, like, she can do some shit. Like, she's very well trained.
Yeah, like he was very impressed when she was sent to deal with the pirate skulls, pretty much on her own, I guess. So he'll be like, yeah, I definitely need to get back in shape. And I guess by the end of the training routine, he would go like, you're very good. Definitely. I'm glad that we are training. Have
You
you
as well.
played Malvish by chance?
I'm afraid I do not know what that is.
You don't know what Malvish is? Oh my god. Well, I need to tell you sometime, but right now I'm a bit sweaty and I actually need to, get ready for the meeting. But that was amazing. I wouldn't mind doing that more often.
I do it every morning. You're more than welcome to join.
I think the chapter master offered us to stay here, so I think I will be moving my things today, if you don't mind, to the barracks.
Absolutely. I think it's overdue that. I
Alright.
don't. Motley something. The chapter master said something.
Ah, yes, Motley Hue. I think it's very fitting.
Yes, I think it is.
I do need to speak to them. Anyways, thanks, Captain. The bread was great. And yeah, definitely sign me up for another session tomorrow.
Very well. Good luck with the meeting.
As you head on out. The rest of you reconvene for breakfast at the Flame and Flagon. You have a quick bite to eat. Some more stormbird eggs off to the side with some other fine, some better than stale bread.
Wow, shots fired.
But if nothing else, you all start to head out towards the Frostfire Citadel. You know that from conversing with Dagon yesterday, that it was going to happen pretty early, not quite first light, but pretty early in the morning. You're not exactly sure when, but early. Does anyone want to do anything before you all arrive at the Frostfire Citadel?
Rhukkarrak was exhausted and he wants to sleep in as late as he possibly can.
Okay.
Asja is going to make sure she has time for 2 big helpings of stormbird eggs because, we're not going another day with no food. That was a big mistake yesterday. No.
Assuming that they're about out of teal and all, rather than ask for it, Euan will eat his breakfast and then go and cook himself briefly in the hot tub
Okay.
before catching up with Asja and Rhukkarrak Rhukkarrak, I guess, because Asya's already over there technically. Oh, wait, no, you came back, didn't you?
Yeah.
Catch up with the rest of
Yes.
the party to head over there.
Alrighty. Yeah. You all then
And-
head. Go ahead.
Nothing.
Okay. You all then head to the Frostfire Citadel, taking another ferry on over. And at this point, the city is starting to come back to life, if you will. Different merchants going around selling different things from the canals themselves. The actual main large canals have reopened now, and the bustle has returned to Elendor. You then arrive at the exterior of the Frostfire Citadel. You can still see the scorched earth on the ground that kind of just makes you think of, wow, that was just yesterday. We do see a smaller gnomish figure walk up to you guys as Maldorwen rejoins the group.
Yeah, I have the pickaxe with me, and I'm like aiming it as a crossbow at Yuan. And he'll just like do that for a second, and then just like laugh and say, "I met with the captain yesterday. I brought the pickaxe. That might be a good idea. I don't know."
I think it was a very good idea.
Look, Maldorwen, about last night, he'll start and then he'll just kind of shake his head. Can we talk later?
Yes.
All right. And you'll look up at the citadel, sigh a little bit. All right, what are we going to say?
I want to prove to you that I do not wish harm inflicted upon any of the Kashdurim that are at the beach. I think that if the city wanted to exterminate them, perhaps they could do that. They are not many, and as you said, they have innocents with them. I also don't trust them. You know that. I think that the fact that they are here is just... Perhaps they do not wish it to be so, but they are, as Shadowthorn said, finding out stuff about Elendor that could be then used against Elendor itself. And I also, yes, just want you to know, all of you, that I just want to know what is going on. And I think that listening closely to what each council member has to say is going to be very illuminating. So that...
Well,
Do we even know how many council members there are? I mean, we know about Dugan, and we know about the Windcaller, and we know about Aeon, but how many others are there? Do we even know?
I don't know.
Like, are we walking into
Um,
giant room of like 20, 30 people sitting in circle circled around us, staring at us, because that makes my heart kind of flutter a little bit.
I'll say, Maldorwen, you can roll a history check on this.
Okay, cool. I will.
It's gonna be
History
pretty
check.
high DC because you're not super familiar with Elendor, but
14.
14. Within the Sunspire, most all governing bodies of cities are councils. Like, there's a high council at Veltari that kind of resides against the entire Sunspire Dominion. And that's made up of 5 individuals. Usually there's not more than that. Usually that's about the number. So if you had to guess.
Okay.
You're not sure.
Say probably 5 or 6 at most. We already know half of them, it would seem. But I could be wrong.
No, that's better odds than I thought we had. If we know half of them already, and only one of them really doesn't like us that much, then I think we're doing better than I thought we were.
Well, I think that we should stick to what we know. We know that there were elves last night that were trying to incite panic for whatever reason. And we know that there are a group of people that have suffered in the elements outside the city because of the council's indecision. And in my opinion, they should either vet them and let them in or kindly let them go. And this going back and forth should end. But other than that, I don't think we don't really know that much more.
Look, can I say one last thing? To
Yes?
all of you. Perhaps if what is the strong feeling amongst you, and by extension that would be me, because yes, I'm your ally. If that feeling is to make sure that the Kasduri might not hurt, we are a force to be reckoned with, aren't we? We can make sure that doesn't happen. We can go out there and protect whoever needs protecting. Can't we? We can fight.
I don't wish for there to be any bloodshed. But I also refuse to let innocent people, I don't care where they're from, who they are, fall because of a few spies, bad eggs, whatever you want to call them. If trade is what is wanted, perhaps it would be wise to suggest perhaps neutral ground away from the city for that trade to happen. But even then, I think that with the state of the city right now, with the unease because of the Khazdurim, and with, well, the mistrust that we seem to have garnered with some because we have gone out to see them, perhaps it really is best that we direct them away from the city and then we take our leave.
I don't think we have enough time to take our leave from here. So I think maybe not making enemies would be a good idea, because we might have to spend at least part of the harsh year. I don't know. As I've said a few times, I've never really left my city. I don't know how far things are from places. But at least from where I came from to here, it was 2.5 months walk. I don't know how far it is from here to the next nearest safe place.
I apologize, I
Before
forget. Go ahead.
things begin. I was just going to say, before it starts really getting too dangerous to be traveling out in the open.
I forget not everyone is quite as equipped to travel out in the heat of Embervale. Either way, what she says holds true.
You can travel in that heat?
To an extent. Not much. Maybe the first few weeks before it's too much, but...
Either way, I think we're all very much agreed that we don't want to see anything happen. How do I put this? Okay. Rhukka, do you... I have been assuming this whole time that you do not speak... same with... Well, no, Maldorwen, with you, I rightfully think I assume because of where you have described your city. I assume you speak Elven?
Yes, I speak Elven.
And I know that Euan does. Do you also speak Elven? It would make it so much easier for me to speak clearly.
I know a couple of words from working around elves for the past 2 years. But, sorry,
Those
it's a
probably
very
not
difficult
very good
language.
words.
Just a warning, my accent in Elven is just as strong. I'm sorry.
I would like to hear that some point.
You have an accent? I'm sorry.
I think, at least this is how I feel. Those that are in there, if they can be proven that they are spies and weeded out from the rest of them, I think within all justifications of politics, of how things usually work, there should be some... Perhaps at that point it's how the city deals with it. I feel perhaps there should be dialogue, maybe something, but the rest of them, as much as I grew up thinking they were monsters, seeing them the other day, they're very hairy, but they're not monsters. Lots of hair. Ooh. But I can't let anything happen to them. Even if deep down there is a little part of me that also maybe feels like Calorith, where I have a rage inside of me that would love to see them just fall for what they did. But
Can I ask you something, Asja?
yes,
What would you choose if it came down to fighting Elendor or fighting them? Because usually that is the way conflict goes. If you want to protect certain people, then you would have to face some others.
then at that point I would have to face Elendor, I would assume. But I am hoping that there is some balance that can be found. As I suggested yesterday, perhaps there is a way to find a balance so that those that wish to find justice and everything can, those that wish to find trade can. But it keeps, as I said, I don't understand the conflict, and I'm sorry that I got so upset yesterday. I just don't understand. And I'm very confused. I come from somewhere where we don't really have a lot of conflict. Not what we would even consider conflict. Maybe an irritation, as if a little bug bit you and you get an itchy spot, but nothing this big that makes my head hurt and my heart hurt and my stomach just not want to have food, or else bring the food right back up out of my mouth. I don't
I think it
understand.
would be very beautiful indeed if everyone could see things like you and be able to find balance, as you say. But I think within that chamber we'll see that conflict is everywhere. And
What if we could combine, though, use our abilities to find the balance between the conflict and the peace? As I said, maybe we can find a compromise between both sides that allows the Castorum their safety, but at the same time sends clear message to the Castorum that their trade here is welcome if that's what the council wants. We're not from here. I have no say over that part. But there is no room for their spies. And why do the Castorum want so many primal essence? Has anybody ever asked that one? Like, they took
why
ours.
does
They took yours. Well, they didn't take yours, but now they're eyeing up this one. What do they need so many for?
I don't know. But as far as finding a balance, I can tell you that your life may have been void of conflict, but mine has been full of it. And there was one thing that was able to keep me sane, and that was honor. Being able to stick to making sure that when there is conflict, it is only with those that wish you harm. Or so that you can survive. And with nothing else.
Well, either... on that note, I guess, then, I came here this morning. I left a note for Calorith. Over time, I have... It's not really... It's kind of a magical ability. An extension of my own life abilities. And sometimes I can get... Just by looking at or being around a person, I can get a sense of that person's life energy and whether they are good or... There's no real good or bad, but somewhere on the viewpoint. And then, well, also sometimes I can tell you how long they're going. But if we are going to... I wanted to know where his heart lies, I guess. If we are going to speak the truth and maybe highlight that there might be, we don't know, but that there might be, and sort of side with Calorith in a way. I wanted to know whether his spirit inside is more clean than dirty. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
I don't want to let Calorith harm, but at the same time, if there are already problems where some of those Castorum on the beach are here to do harm or start ripples of waves again, starting wars, then the best way to protect the city would be to get them to listen. And that means that we would be siding with Calorith a little bit.
He did. Shadowthorn did say that if the council decided not to attack the camp, then it would be very out of character for Kellereth to do it on his own.
I would assume he is like you and Euan, where you are. The one thing I do know about soldiers, it's not like we don't have any back at home. You are very honor-bound. You don't waver, and you are very proud that you stay within the confines of what you are allowed to do and not allowed to do. I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to say that you're just very honorable in your actions, and I agree that I think that he would not be in his position if he was not somewhat honor-bound to not harming the city. He is a protector. He's just trying to protect it in his own way, though.
Excuse
So
me,
maybe-
you all the motley hue?
Yes?
Yep.
Right, your audience is requested at the chambers?
Okay. Well, it was nice knowing you all. In case we do end up in prison by the end of the evening, yep. She just kind of walks her hand and shakes all of your hands. I promise, I promise, Ruka, that I will honor my promise from my volcano side out anymore, especially not today. Let's do
Well,
this.
Sometimes it's good to let the volcano out, but in a constructive way. Anyway, let's go.
As you all follow this elven individual who's now leading you in to the Frostfire Citadel, the large grandiose doors once again open, where previously they barred Rhukkarrak from entry. As you step in, your kind of footprint or footfalls kind of echo on the exquisite marble flooring of this structure. As you are then chauffeured over to another set of doors, not quite as grandiose, but still impressive. As the individual here, some sort of clerk, kind of just nods to you all. Well, good luck in there. And they start to open the door as you see the large kind of main hall here. Exquisite walls made of glass fused with marble that is crafted pristinely and excellently. On the backdrop of the actual building itself, there's these large stained glass windows that depict several different things. The main depiction in the center is that of a motherly looking elven figure with golden eyes that most of you would resemble as a depiction of Alamor, kind of looking down upon this council here. Each step you take, kind of the entire room just fills your senses, as it is very, very regal. You see before you there's a large kind of crescent-shaped table of sorts with 5 chairs, all crafted exquisitely, but with their own unique flourishes and finishings to them. And within them sits each member of the council, some of which you do recognize. The middle one you do not. there sits a tall, slender, elven figure who just kind of looks towards you all with very precise, keen eyes as you all enter. Incredibly regal robes that she is adorned here. A little circlet almost glints with some of the reflected, colorful lights that shine in through the stained glass windows. To one of her sides, you do see Dagon, the chapter master, who you spoke quite extensively the previous day. He gives you a little nod as you start to step in. To the opposite side of her, you see another feminine elf that you recognize, but very briefly, as you spoke with her for only a brief moment within the main steam temple, also on the previous day. Her kind of crimson navy blue robes that kind of gradient from that flow effortlessly. She just kind of gives you a warm smile as you step in. To her side, across from at one of the end of the tables, you see tired-looking Aeon Zathriel, but still very much presenting himself in this moment as a lavish new outfit that he's wearing just for this meeting. Across the table, you then see the stern, not necessarily scowl, but face of Calorith, the Windcaller, who kind of recognizes your entrance and eyes you all as the doors behind you close. And that, unfortunately, is where we're going to have to pick up in 2 weeks from now.
No.
As we're right on that timeline there, and I want to give this a proper moment. So instead of rushing through it, we will excitedly wait 2 weeks from now. However,
Impatiently wait.
this will give you all time to think exactly what words you all are going to use. Additionally, level up! You all do level up.
Yay!
So what we'll do real quick here is everyone go ahead and roll your hit dice to see how many points of health you regain or gain for this next level, level 4. It's exciting.
Okay. Oh no.
So,
look.
Yeah, you do re-roll ones because that's just feels bad, man. You re-roll a 1.
That's a 3 for
That's
me.
a 3.
So it's almost 6.
And nothing stupendous, but still, 6 hit points is nothing to scoff at either.
Okay.
And that's
So
just
I'm gonna
another
take a
level of
cleric.
barbarian? You mean?
Correct.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a cleric level, so I'll roll a d8.
Oh, man.
Yes!
Okay. Another one's rolling a d8 for another cleric level. So this is another rogue level there.
Yeah.
Alright. Another
Also
level of rogue
for
and a
Rhukkarrak.
full 8. Very nice. So that's a total of 10 hit points gained.
Okay. So 6 total for me.
6 for Maldorwen. Very nice.
Yep.
And then Asja, take another
Yeah.
level in Warlock.
Yes, this one is a level in Warlock. I will roll my d6.
Like,
There we
yeah,
go,
get a
that's what I was looking for.
d6.
Yep.
Not quite a d4 like wizards, but.
Fly.
Alright. So 4 plus your con mod. What is that? 5, 6?
6.
6. There you go. Very nice. Well, GG's on getting here, guys. You are now at the council meeting. We'll have to wait to see exactly what this brings till after the holidays. Thank you all so much for watching. Enjoy the holidays. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. And see you in 2 weeks from now. Oh,
Bye,
snapper.
everybody.
Night, everyone.
You're in danger.
Bye.